Hello fellow nerds, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another episode of the Sprue Chronicles. Today we are going to be painting the Tyrannofex. As you can see, I have removed his head after I mistakenly glued it on in the one of my previous videos. We are going to be trying to do the same theme we did for the Norn Emissary. So I've got the paints all ready. If you wanted to follow along, we've got orc skin, which I'm going to be using for the bulk of his flesh. I'm going to try to do a ghillie dew blend onto the weapon because I want it a slightly different colour towards the end of it. I've got the jungle green for the inside flesh parts, and having previously learnt, I'm going to do those bits first so it's easier and brighter. I've got poppy red for the carapace, or whatever you want to call it. I've got grim black for the claws and the hooves, and maybe a few little spots here and there. Familiar pink for the tongue and the inside of the mouth. And then I've got some wraith bone, which I will go back over the teeth with. That's pretty much all of the colours I will be using. I've got a new brush that I'm going to try out today that I got for free. This is the Warhammer Shade M. I got that with the Spearheads magazines that were sent to me by accident. They sent them instead of the combat patrols. They are resending the combat patrols, and they told me to keep the Spearheads as a sorry. So there we go. I've got 4 episodes of Spearhead for free. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's get some green on the flesh. I realise I said get some green on the flesh. What I actually meant was let's get some of this light green in these recesses. That's a very, very bright green, isn't it? It looks so good once it's contrasted with the rest, especially with the red. I'm not going to be, or I don't need to be too careful with this because the darker green is going to be going over anyway. What I do want to make sure is that I don't get it on too thick to hide the details in them. This new light bar is very bright, really lights everything up. The brush is splitting already. I really hope this comes out as nicely as the Norn Emissary did. I don't really. I'm like picking a spot and then I'm seeing a different spot and I'm thinking, should I go up there? Let's just focus on the legs for now. The prime on this has come out a little bit powdery. It's not quite as smooth as my other models. I think it might be because it's been very humid here the past few weeks. I'm just going to move this light. No, not. Let's not move that because that moves the camera as well. That's a bad idea. Yeah, it's been very humid here the past few days. Right, I've done all. I want to do basically what I can see, so I'm going to go up here and do these now. I'm not too concerned with it on this model because I feel like it adds to the texture of the flesh and carapace. Especially, it's got a little bit flaky up here. I'm not sure if that's going to translate onto the camera. I never know until I'm editing. It's gone a bit flaky up here. So I guess you can get away with it on tyranids. I'm not really sure how you'd get away with it on other miniatures though. Maybe battle damage, or depends how much is on it. But yeah, don't really know how to get around that if it's other than not priming them when it's humid. But we don't get many. How do I get to that? It's either wet and damp here, windy, or hot and humid. We don't tend to get much in between. Maybe a month or so of in between. But that's England for you. I shan't complain too much though, because if it's nice and warm, I'd rather it was humid than wet and damp and cold, which we tend to get a lot of. That's going on really nicely actually, he says, and then makes a mistake. I jinx it every single time, don't I? Ah well, like I said, it doesn't matter too much. The darker green is going to go over the top of that, so I'm just making sure I regularly dip the tip of that brush in that paint, so there's plenty on the tip and I'm not having to push down hard with the brush. And I must remember to keep rinsing it off so that that paint doesn't dry in the bristles. Well, that's all the jungle green done. It's really nice, I think. I've got in all of the bits on the gun, as you must have seen. It's just everywhere. There were some real difficult parts to get to though. We've got like underneath the leg, so like underneath each of the legs, having to go right in, extend that brush. I've just realised I've missed a couple of bits on the insides of these arms as well, which I'm going to have to go and do. But this part, like right under here, was so difficult. It's like underneath on this side of the arm, other side of this arm. So difficult to get to. I'm going to go in and get those bits now. There's just a small part. I don't know how I'm going to even get to it, to be honest. It's right underneath the tricep area on this arm. So like right underneath here. This one won't be so difficult to get to. Yeah, they were really tough to get to. What I actually did was, I went in from the back on this one, and I used the base of the model to just kind of keep the brush still and then gently brushed across it. And then I did the same with the one under here. Just came in and used the base and moved the model rather than the brush. But the one underneath is an absolute mess. I couldn't get to it. And then I realised I hadn't done the head, so I did a couple of little bits on the head here, just inner flesh parts, just to try and break up what's going to be green. Otherwise, just the whole model is going to be quite a flat green, although it is a beautiful green. So anyway, that's all of those parts done with the jungle green army painter. Now we're going to move on to the orc skin and the ghillie dew, which I'm going to do on the gun. I'm going to attempt to blend it. I watched a video of how to blend it. It says make sure the paint's still wet. So I guess I'll do the gun as the last part of the kind of dark green, and then I'll immediately put the ghillie dew straight into it, and hope for the best, because I've never done blending before. So I guess we'll see together whether that works out or not. I feel like I'm being a bit too gentle. I might even need a bigger brush, you know. This is quite a fat brush as well. Yeah, let's bring this magnifying glass back down. I find that I paint so much better with the magnifying glass. I guess I could just see better. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a placebo effect. I mean, obviously I can see better because it magnifies everything, but it's not like I've got terrible eyes. Yeah, I need to get in those little breathing holes or whatever the hell they are. There we go. I wonder what they actually are. Yeah, then obviously I've got some basing. Just coming back to that base, obviously I've got some basing materials as well that I'll stick on. Right, I need to be more careful here. There's lots of nooks and crannies on this. Lots of like hard to reach areas. Well, not hard to reach, but more difficult. There are plenty of hard to reach as well. I feel like this is one of those models that would really benefit from being painted sub-assembly. But I do like making the videos of assembling them, so that kind of leaves me in a catch-22 situation. Do I just not assemble them? Or do I part assemble them to do the videos, and then the next part will be me painting it and assembling it properly? I don't know. I like making those videos, and I guess some of you like watching them. Yeah, hold your breath. Okay. That didn't go too badly. What's that that's on the end of the brush? It's like a single strand of the brush is longer than... Yeah, it is. It's longer than the rest of the brush. That's irritating. Oh well, I got it for free. Oh, I've gone over there. Frig. That one hair is really irritating. I might have to cut that off. Or pluck it out. Yeah, that's really irritating. It's a single hair and it's like a millimetre longer than the rest of the brush. And I can't grab it. Right, let me sort this out. And we're back. I got it. I cut it off with a carving knife. It was just a tiny bit longer than the rest of the brush. That was really irritating me. Yeah, anyway, it's fixed now, so... Imagine that, one single strand. Of course it is picking up paint, so dragging it through anything would create a fine line, as we saw, or as I saw, along this part. It's gone over into the lighter colour, which I really didn't want. But there we go, we're over it now, so let's get the rest of this green on. Not sure why I just went high pitch there, but whatever. Like totally. So the green is done. It's a little bit patchy, but it is the first coat. I obviously always go over with a second coat, but it's looking pretty good. I put a little bit of the light green in like these little round bits. I don't know, I just thought maybe it would go. I'm not sold on it yet, but I think it looks alright. Might go back over that, don't know yet. But yeah, I think we are ready to move on to the gun. Oh, I also put a little bit of the light green in the end of the gun. I think I'm ready to try and put this ghillie dew onto the gun, see how that looks, and then try to fade it kind of around this area. Don't know if that's going to go very well. Never tried it before, but hey, we're learning every day as we paint. Once that's done, I think we're ready to go on with the red. I'm not sure what colour I'm going to do this little bit in here. I might do that like a pinky colour. Looks kind of a bit like a brain, doesn't it? I don't know. I don't really know what these are either. I might do those yellow, just because. Yeah. And there's this sack thing over here that I noticed. Don't really. Well, there's a bit of green there. Don't really know what colour to do that either. I might do that a pinky colour as well. I guess we'll figure it out as we go. It's like a little vein thing there I'm just noticing as well. But yeah, I think we will try with the ghillie dew on the gun now. I'm very nervous about this. I really don't know how this is going to look. It should be alright. That is not the correct brush at all, is it? I'm going to need to clean that and get a bigger brush. Now let's put that to one side. What brush should I use? This one will do. Let's see. It's not too dissimilar to that really light green, is it? It's much like a grassy green. It looks alright, I think. Not quite sure why I've gone around that bit. Let's just fill that in. Be super careful along these parts. Beautiful tip on these brushes. As long as you don't push too hard. Keeps the tip really well. Right. I don't know about this, you know. I'm just thinking I might go, haven't just bloody done it. I don't know what to do with those. I was thinking they look a little bit like his extended fingers gripping it. Perhaps I could colour those that green. I might break the gun up a bit. Yeah, let's do that. I can always fix that bit that I've just gone over. I can always fix that with a bit of Wraith bone. This is very patchy. This is definitely going to need a second coat as well. Yeah, I think it'll look alright. Oh shit. Did not want to do that though. I was not paying attention properly then. Mostly salvaged that. Momentary lapse of concentration. I don't want to go too far up. I need to get to the point where I want to blend it, and then I need to get that other green in the palette and get ready to go on quickly. Okay. There's lots of little bits that I need to tidy up here with that light green in there. Maybe I'll go around that edge part with this darker. Actually, let's do that. Let's be dead careful here. Went over a little bit there. It doesn't look too bad. Okay. Where am I going to blend this? I feel like it needs to be more towards the end, I guess, so sort of like down here. So I guess let's go on with this, carry on. Right, we're getting to the part where I'm going to want to blend it. Right, let's get this other green in here. I don't think I should use the same brush. I'm going to plonk that there. Okay. This is either going to go really well or really badly. I guess I will find out. So we want this up here. Coming into the middle. I guess that's where I want to blend it, kind of there. No, it doesn't look too bad. It actually looks quite good. It's not blended quite as much as I'd hoped, but it still looks blended. Let's get some more on, see where it goes. Oh, I just dipped in the wrong one. Bloody hell. I don't want to give it time to dry though, that's the problem. It's drying really quickly. Yeah, it's drying too quickly. I think it looks alright. Like, it's by no means perfect. But I don't think it's too bad for a first attempt. Especially when you can kind of like, I guess, go over it a bit more. I've just done that finger that I didn't want to do, for fuck's sake. Yeah, alright, I'm pretty pleased with that. I'll try again the other side in a minute. Ah! There's another bit I'm going to need to patch up. Oh, this is not easy, this part. Well, there's a bit more I'm going to need to patch up. Ah well. It's like I said in another video, previous video, don't worry too much about your mistakes because you can tidy them up with the Wraithbone or whatever you've primed it with. Just use the same colour. Oh Christ, what is going on with me today? I'm getting fed up with these shaky hands, that's for sure. Right, let's get some of that other green on there before it dries. It's already dry. God damn it. Well, it still looks kind of blended. It's not perfect at all. Let's try the other side, shall we? Right, so both of those greens are done. I think the blending is all right. It's by no means perfect. In fact, yeah, it's not great round that side. I'm not happy with the tone. I have gone over it with another coat of the green, the orc skin, but still looks really patchy to me, particularly on like the limbs. Yeah, there's a lot of brush strokes there as well. I'm going to try and do like a dry brush of what have I got? Where is it gone? Here it is, of goblin green. I'm trying to do a dry brush over that, the top areas. Hopefully that's going to mask a bit of the patching, but I guess we'll have to see how it goes. Yeah, I'm not happy with the patchy skin at all. We'll see how it goes. I've got a dry brush. I need some paper towel. So the green is basically done now. I did a little bit of a dry brush over with that, with the goblin green. It seems to have fixed a little bit of the patching problems. It hasn't completely fixed it. It's not some sort of miracle cure. And then I touched up some of the highlight on the internal bits here. There's still a few little bits that I need to go over. I'll do that once I get to the detailing. I looked up these parts here. It appears that this is an eye, as is this part in here that I've done green. So I'm going to have to paint back over that. Once I tidy these bits up, I'll go back over that with the wraith bone and then turn that into a yellow eye. Same with that. Yeah, I'm going to start putting the red on now, I think. And looking at these spikes, I think I'll do those black. I was considering doing them this green, but I think it might be better to do those black. I'll have a think about that. I may actually do those green, you know. They would really pop against that red, wouldn't they? Anyway, let's start sticking some red on, shall we? Where shall we start? Let's start down here on the shin and we'll work our way around. I'm going to have to be careful. I can't actually remember if this is the same red I used on on the Norn Emissary. I probably should watch my video back, shouldn't I, and check the colour. Hey, if it's not, it doesn't matter too much, does it? It don't have to be the exact same red. I'm not that militant about things, as you're probably well aware. Got to make sure it doesn't pull. I think that's probably why it was so streaky on the skin. I let it pull too much. It's drying very quickly in this heat. It's very warm again today. I think I mentioned that earlier. I have a habit of repeating myself. Love the way the red pops against that green. High Fleet Cringer in full effect. That's the name I've decided on. High Fleet Cringer. I've missed a bit of green under there. I'll have to go back over that later. That's alright, we'll go around and touch up right at the end. Love it. Right, let's get this leg done. I wish the whole model was this easy. Right, let's crack on. So the red is done, but not going to lie, that was an absolute ball ache getting in some of these parts. Down here especially, I made a lot of mistakes. I've put some Wraith bone on a few bits that I'm going to have to touch up. But we got there in the end. Lots of frustration. Lots of going over edges. Yeah, it's looking alright, I think. Might give the red a dry brush with some Bale red or something, Mephiston red. I've added the pink to the little brain thing here, and to the sack. And I've also done the head, of course. I've done the pink on the tongue, and I've done the teeth, and I've tried to do the eyes a little bit. I might go yellow with those, so we'll go over that. And that's just going to leave the black for the blades and the spikes then. Thinking I might do these black, just to kind of break it up, and it didn't seem right to do them the fleshy greeny colour. My logic is that these are like harder, more spiky, aren't they? They're not so much flesh. But yeah, I think once we've done the black on all of that, I will do yellow on this. I need to do the white and yellow on that because I'm going to turn that into an eye. Still not decided what colour to do this. I might do that pink as well, actually. Yeah. In fact, let's do that whilst we're here. Let me just touch that bit up that I actually want to have as an eye. Let's hope I don't go over the edges, eh? I've gone over the edges too many times today. It's extremely frustrating. Just have to be careful and use the right size brush. I'll do it, I think. Go over that with yellow and then do like a little cat eye type eye, and that'll be good to go. Let's start putting the black on, shall we? This brush might be too small, actually. I didn't want to go too big because I don't want to start making loads of mistakes. But then, if it's too small, sometimes that can have the reverse effect. I feel like these are going to need 2 coats. Cool. The hooves. Actually, this brush probably just about right. It pushes in nicely into all those little corners. Brushes are drying out so quickly. I'm really starting to think I need to invest in a different magnifying. Have I already said this? I swear I'm losing it. This thing just keeps getting in the way. The little ding noise you hear every time is the end of the brush hitting the magnifying glass. thing is, I tried those glasses things and I couldn't get on with them at all. That doesn't really leave me many other options, does it? Or just, there we go, hit it again. Oh, that was so lucky. Look at that. As I dropped the figure, the black brush hit that part there. And that was because of the magnifying glass. The amount of times it's made me do stuff like that is so frustrating. I'm glad I didn't hit that anywhere else. Isn't it funny how these little finishing touches just suddenly make the model come together? Don't forget his toes. Yeah. This would have definitely benefited from painting before I assembled it. Some of the parts were so difficult to get into. And like I said, I was getting extremely frustrated. But we're nearly done. And it's not a complete mess. So, where can I put my finger here for support? Sometimes that's the hardest part, finding somewhere to put your finger to support your hand. So you're not just floating your brush in midair and trying to steadily paint. Oh God. Put my finger on the hoof then. Like I'm doing right now. So hard to control the brush when you do that. Well, it's for me anyway. I don't know, maybe it's not for you, but it really is for me. Right, this is going to be this toe and foot done. And then we can speed this up a little bit. There's a bit of green that I've missed there. I'll have to touch that up later. that is pretty much done. All the black's on. Still got those little bits of touching up to do with the light green. I've taken the liberty of putting the pink in here as well as the eyes on. I think they look alright. They're not perfect, but I have never suggested ever being a professional painter. We'll go around and touch that up, and then I'm going to put that on the spinning Rooney and let you guys have a 360 look. Obviously, I will glue his head on. Finish the head. Looks pretty good. It looks alright. Pretty satisfied with that. It's battle ready anyway. It's not going to win any golden demons, but maybe in a few years. Let's glue his head on, put him on the swilly. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one.